Padri uncle, can you tell us something about when and how Baba first came to Meherabad?
Yes, sir, I can. It was in 1923 when we came to Ahmednagar after leaving Manzil-e-Meem. In Manzil-e-Meem was our first abode. When Baba gathered the Mandali from Pune, we went to Manzil-e-Meem, that is Bombay, Dadar, and in May we left Manzil-e-Meem and came here for Rustam's marriage. During that time, Rustam just brought to the ears of Baba that Baba, my father, owned some land in a place called Arangaon. It is some place somewhere 5 or 6 miles from here. Would you like to see it? Rustam had not seen it, it seems. Baba said, a desire, yes, we will go and see it once. So, Baba and the Mandali came here, saw the place. Baba said, I like it. Rustam said, if you want to make your abode here, if you want to pitch your camp here, if you want to live with the Mandali here, I can tell my father will let you live. There's nothing, there are plenty of acres of land. Well, what happened between Rustam and Baba, I really don't know, but there was what you say, agreement that will stay. And something happened just before Rustam's marriage. Some sort of a, what should I say, difference of opinion between Rustam and Baba sprang up, and Baba became furious and irritated, and he started walking off from Khusru quarters. Naturally, we had to accompany Baba. Then, after leaving Khusru quarters, well, the marriage is yet to come, mind you. It is during May, and it is little before May. And we come and stay in the station Dharamsala, just near station. We stayed a number of days. Rustam comes and entreats, Baba, please don't get angry with me. Well, what was the point? We really don't know. It was going on between them. Then once, well, of course, I don't know, but Rustam said that Baba, if you're not coming, I'm not going to marry. He said that in a sort of fit of anger or whatever you say. Well, Baba said nothing then. Baba quietened down, came back again. Rustam got married, and we came down here. While we came down, the first time, we pitched our camp near the neem tree, just near the engine room there, near the well. And there we saw a crypt, but no body, a grave to be. Well, we stayed in a number of days here, then we went to Quetta in the month of June, came back, and we started working, clearing out the site. Stayed for a number of days here, and there, that was the period what we call the Gamela Yoga, where we literally used to work like these coolies, the laborers. There were these old camps lying around, dilapidated camps, all these posts and furzy and earth and mud and everything lying about, and we used to clear under Baba's supervision. Only men Mandali. And that also was our weaning period. Mani Baba was very strict then, very strict. Morning, we had milkless tea. In the afternoon, dal and rice. In the evening, potatoes and chapatis, which was done. These meals were cooked by Masaji, that is Pendu's father. In the afternoon also we had weak tea, milkless tea. We started clearing the site and we lived in a building called the post office, which was near the railway lines.
On the other side of the road.
No, sir, on the other side of the road, but this side of east of the railway. A very fine building. It was a stone structure. Baba mingled amongst us. He ate and drank with us. And there he gave us a prayer. He told Muslims to pray in Arabic, Zoroastrians in Zand, partly Persian. Hindus used to do it in their own language. And by, and also we used to sing some name of God in unison. Then again, in 1924, we went to Quetta. After Rusi also had come here. Rusi invited Baba again. Baba come to Quetta. And we all went to Quetta by train. Both times we went to Quetta by train. After we came here, we see that the crypt is now occupied. It's filled up. Yes, the crypt that we saw in the beginning. Now later on we come to hear that there was one mast, a very good friend of Sir Rustam's father, Adi's father. Rustam's father used to see him. He used to come to Rustam's house. He was a mast. He was a man of God. He heard and he told Khan Sahib, that is Rustam's father, that I hear that you have got some place. He had said, you have got some place. Would you give me some room to lie down there, my last abode? So Khan Sahib had given, Rustam's father had given him that place, and he had made that crypt under his own supervision. So next time when in 1924 we come, we see the grave is occupied. But before going away, he had said that after I am gone and buried here, a big man, a very great man will come and stay on your lands. He told Rustam's father. Well, after that we came and went and stayed, and number of times we all cleared all the sites. Then in 1925, Baba established a school, Hazrat Babajan School, a dispensary, a hospital, a leper asylum under Baba's supervision. I was given the charge of the outpatients department. Pendu was looking after the hospital, and other people were given their respective duties. The food was simple, absolutely simple. Then, in 1925, the women were brought here, and we had to vacate the post office, and a new abode was built for us of tin and rattan, these bamboos, and we just stayed across the road. But strict orders, no man should enter the presence of the women's quarters. I was given the duty of supplying the pani, supplying water to the women. I only went and delivered the water to them, and out I came again. That's all. Gustaji was given the charge of storekeeper, giving material, giving groceries and grain and ghee and oil and everything. So he used to supply them inside, that is the women's side, and the men's side too. Well, now I'm sorry, the food used to come from the women's side. And what was it? During the year 1925, morning was weak tea, afternoon weak tea with jawar bread, and in the evening, I forget now, what could it be? It might be weak tea again and jawar bread. Well, the diet kept on changing. Our food regime kept on changing. Sometimes we had dal and bhakri and dal and chapati and potatoes and chapati and something. Baba kept on changing. And we thrived on it. We did thrive on it. On Thursdays, we used to observe a complete fast. And Thursday was our picnic day. Because on that day, we would get milk tea as much as we wanted. As much as we wanted. One family was staying in the village. Baba had kept them. And they said that they requested Baba that we would like to give Mandali at least once a week some milk tea. He said, all right. So we would await arrival of Thursdays, and in the afternoon at about 3 o'clock we would all go to that house in the village and sit down for tea. Of course the cups were small, no doubt, what we used to call the singles in the old days, but it was an excellent tea, excellent fare, being starved of good milk tea for 7 days. We gulped cups and cups down. There was one Englishman here at that time named Nelms. He died here. He also he drank many cups of tea. Once Baba asked him, how many cups of tea have you drunk? He says, Baba, I have drunk 13 cups of tea. Well, we were almost running neck to neck, out polish of 6 to 8 cups myself, and so would others too. Anyway, that treat we wouldn't let go. And kettles after kettles of tea would come, and the cups being small, you could just drain it in a gulp. So 13 cups would be 13 gulps, but even then it was a treat for us.
So that's where you got your tea drinking habits.
Well, not exactly tea drinking habit, I think started when I started toddling. A Parsi starts his drinking tea, when he's in his napkins. Anyway, we used to look after the hospital, the leper asylum. We had a dharmshala here. We used to keep wayfarers here under Baba's supervision. Baba used to bathe the school boys, wash the clothes, and our Mandali soap was just plain bar soap. The cheapest soap available in the market, which was 10 paisa a bar in the former times.
Who did the doctoring in the hospital, Padri uncle?
We had employed a doctor by the name Dr. Karkul. We had given an advertisement in the papers, and out of some doctors we selected this one, a very good one. When we broke up in 1926, Dr. Karkul was given leave and he opened a practice here. During Dr. Karkul's time and the hospital time, Dr. Karkul, he was an eye specialist. We operated for cataracts also. We did cataract operations.
Over here.
Yes, sir, we did. There was one case, a man whose cataract had matured 9 years and he was completely blind. He stayed in the hospital for 6 months. He had tremendous patience. We would just tell the doctor, Pendu and I would tell the doctor that, doctor, come on, operate on this man. Yes, we'll take it. So this chap, he almost stayed for 9 months or 6 months in the hospital. But after his eyes were operated, he could see with both the eyes. He had not lost the vision, although his cataracts had matured 8 to 10 years ago. The test glasses were put on his eyes and he could see the railway train going clearly. And happily he went all alone. When he came to the hospital, he was brought, and when he went home, he just walked by himself. So, this doctor opened a clinic of his own in Ahmednagar. But the point is, during our hospital regime, this doctor cured many cases of pneumonia, lobar pneumonia, with ordinary mixtures, mind you, not these antibiotics or anything. Many of these cases were cured, and the poor doctor himself died of pneumonia, lobar pneumonia. When we came back, we had left Arangaon, we had gone to Bombay, Santa Cruz, and after we come back, we find that he is dead. And he dies of lobar pneumonia. Well, that is that. So, come and go. Then we went to Nasik in the year 1928. We went to Toka, a place 50 miles away on the banks of the Godavari. It's a confluence of two rivers. That's why it is called Sangam. One river is Pravra, the other is Godavari. There we went. We took the boys also with us, and there I was given the duty of a teacher. Well, first I was a laborer, then I became a compounder, now I become a teacher. Whatever the duty is given, and we do it. Baba himself used to clean the water closets of the boys. Baba himself, mind you. So this is how the master teaches. Vivekananda said, a true teacher is he who comes down to the level of the student and teaches. A teacher cannot afford to remain on a higher pedestal, and if he remains, I think, I would shirk him. He is no teacher. He's got to come down to the level of the student as Baba did. Baba washed the clothes of these Mahar boys, and there in Toka he cleared the water closets of these Mahar boys. Well, of course, people helped him. He would just tell anybody, bring pani, bring the broom. All right, come on, take this out, dump it in the pit. But he would clean it himself. And so he tuned us to do all things by he himself doing it. When Toka was broken up again, we came back here. Now, one thing I missed in 1925. In 1925, the Dhuni was first lighted. 13th of November, 1925. It so happened that the rains had completely failed during that year. No primary rains. The primary crop had completely failed. For the secondary crop, the secondary rains had come a little. People had planted their grains, jowar, the primary crop. Then again, it conked out. And somebody from, say, bhajan party from a distant village came singing bhajan at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We were sitting just there near the table under that neem tree. And everybody comes there. They entreat Baba, Baba, please give us rain. If it doesn't rain now, we are lost, finished. It is famine. Baba orders out, come on, let us light a Dhuni. Let us light a Dhuni. Well, people go there, just bring a pickaxe, make a hole in the ground, collect some faggots, kerosene oil, some rubbish. And he says, all right, light the Dhuni. Then he tells them to sing their bhajans.
What does the word Dhuni mean?
Dhuni. Dhuni is the fire. Now many Americans, many Westerners say Dhuni fire. Dhuni by itself is fire. And it always is the companion of these perfect masters or these saints.
But
It
what
is
is-
always there.
What does dhun mean? Dhun means
Dhuni. No, dhun.
dhun is something quite different.
Dhun is ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
You see, that man.
So it has nothing to do with that word.
No, sir, nothing at all. Dhuni is quite a different thing. So the Dhuni was lighted.
In the same place as we do it now, or was it somewhere
A
else?
little to the west it was. I got to give you the information why it was to the west. You see the table there in the table house. That table Baba had got built in the year 1925 after establishing the hospital and after taking up Maun on the 10th of July. Now for about a number of months he would write.
Let me interrupt you for a moment, Padri Uncle.
Yes,
was
sir.
it here that he stopped speaking?
It
At,
was in the 10th of July 1925
At Meherabad.
at Meherabad. Well, I have skipped that incident too because I narrated the other incidents. As you said, you give us a story of life, but personal things we skip. Well, never mind. I'm still there. I'm still alive.
Could you tell
I'll give
us?
it to you.
Could you tell us something more about the day, the last day that Baba spoke?
Yes, I'm trying to tell you that. Baba had been constantly telling that I am going to keep silence, and from tomorrow onwards, or after certain time, I won't speak. Well, master is master. He may he may stop speaking any time he likes. We just heard him. That's all. It's almost a religion with the Indian disciples here. You never question the master. Why and how? Whatever he says is taken as gospel truth and order. You just say that. You just listen to it. You know that. Everybody knows it. So, I'm not going to talk. Maybe he gave a particular date. So let us assume that he said that I am going to stop talking from the 10th of July. I have lost count of it or trace of it. So on the 9th of July, night of the 9th of July till 8 o'clock, he was with the Mandali in the Mandali quarters. And he told us that from tomorrow I'm not going to talk, but don't you worry. Don't you get disheartened. Don't you leave me. Everything will move fine. There will be no hindrance at all because I will be keeping quiet. You just keep on doing as I tell you to. All right. Although we were raw recruits, we had plenty of zeal then. Yes, sir. We had plenty of zeal then. Because he said that it is you, I am your guru now, and I'll show it to you. I'll show you God. Remember, I am born of a Muslim mother and a Hindu father, and this is the Zoroastrian son. I am a perfect man. Mind you, he still doesn't say that I am God, I am a perfect man. Later on, you see, the master always unfolds it little by little. He doesn't give you a shock, sort of. We took him to be a Sadguru. We did. Like Upasni Maharaj, Babajan. Yes, sir, we did. No less. So, in the year 1925, after he started observing Maun, he said that I want a small structure, a table-like structure for me to rest in for the night and live. Well, get wood, get the carpenter and fix it up. No questions asked. He said, I want it within a stipulated time. That was that. So in that table he took his abode. And in that he started writing the book. Paper, pencil, ink, all were supplied to him. although he lived and passed part of his time during the day and the night, it was not a complete seclusion. He would come out. He would go to the jhopdi. He would go to towards the post office side where we had a small temple-like structure with his material, manuscript material. And during that time he would say that nobody should come near me. He had an orderly. The orderly was ordered, don't allow anybody to come near me. Whatever important work there be should wait. So, so that's the table where he wrote the whole book. And after writing the manuscript, he would pass it on and he would just put it in a small black box with a strict warning that none of you shall ever read a line of it. Don't ever see, don't try to open it, not even peep into it. Well, nobody did. Nobody did. Then, after the job was finished, he came out. Then he would have staggered periods of seclusion. He would take it, he would have these periods of seclusion in the jhopdi. Jhopdi means a hut.
You mean the book was finished now?
Finished, that is writing of the book?
Yes.
Yes, writing of the book was finished in 1925. Maybe it went on, or it was finished in 26. I have lost count of time. But it was written during that part seclusion. And nobody knows where the book is.
This was all written on loose sheets of paper.
Loose sheets, yes. Often pencil, often ink.
We have heard it said that the book or whatever he wrote then was written in different languages. Is that true? Do you know anything about it?
That's what he said. You see, he implied that he had quotes in Marathi, in Persian, in Urdu. But his manuscript was in English.
Completely.
Completely. But he might have quoted some masters. Some couplet from Hafiz, or some couplet from Rumi, or some words of Tukaram.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. He said that I have spiced it in like manner. I am writing this and I have spiced it with this. He did himself say that. After the book was finished, it was put in that box, and during our travels, that box used to travel along with us. And the man to whom the box was given, it was hung around his neck with a strict order. You don't put this box on the ground, guard this with your life. Don't try to open it and see what is inside. If you want to go anywhere to attend to your needs, hand over this box to somebody else and tell him, enjoin him this condition that he shall not open it. You are at liberty to do that. But after attending to your needs, come back and take charge of the box. So, during the travels, this box travels with us, and then I really don't know what happened to the box. I know I carried it once around my neck.
Literally.
Literally. I was given charge of it. And, anybody would be given charge of it during the time. You see, he might give you some duty, relieve you of the box, and give it to me. You see. Then, with the orders, that soon as Hirji finishes the job, you give the box back to him. That's all. No questions asked. What did you do? I don't know. But soon as I see you, I hand over the box to you, and you too are very careful to take the box from me. That's following the master. Anyway, now on the night of the 9th, he said, do not worry, everything will go on smoothly. There will be no hindrance at all. From tomorrow I am not talking. All right, I am going now. I am going to Jopri to sleep. We just bowed down, had our last bow of the day. He goes back. The night duty watchman is Masaji, Pendo's father. And before he departs, he enjoins. He just tells everybody, look, he says, in the night, whenever you go out in the open, always carry a lantern. Be careful of snakes. I will save you from any calamity under the sun, but I will not save you from a snake bite. Fair warning. Fair warning. So, I will not save you. We don't ask him the question, why, Baba? Why can't you save? All right. Then, after Baba has gone at about 8:30, Mandali just start talking that Baba is stopping from tomorrow, stopping to talk from tomorrow. He has said that nothing will happen. The business will as usual. Well, we just jabbered or mumbled something, and started moving out, unrolling our bed rolls. I took a lantern and went out into the fields. I moved out of the house to relieve myself. I had hardly gone 10 steps, and right across my path, I see a snake lying. Right across my path, I see the white belly of a snake. I just shouted, snake. The Mandali came running up with sticks. We killed it. Well, you beat here, you beat there, you go this, you go that way, you hit on the head, you hit on the back and something, there was that hubbub. Baba hears the hubbub. He comes back from his jopri. And he says, what happened? He said, Baba, we killed a snake. Who saw it? I said, Baba, I saw it. Where did you see it? Did you carry a lantern? Yes, Baba, I did. He says, look, I am warning you again. I am warning you again. Be careful of snakes. Kill it. Don't get bitten by it. I will not be able to help you of this calamity. All right, I am going now. I am not talking from tomorrow.
That was the last?
That was the last. I am going now.
Did he say this in Gujarati or?
Yes, in Gujarati. I am going, and from tomorrow onwards, I will not talk. I'll write and give my instructions to you on the slate. Well, he goes back the next day, not a word from his mouth. Completely silent. Completely silent, sir. Then, well, the business moved on as usual. The hospital ran, the school ran. Everybody was round about his duty. Baba started his book in the table. Finished. We went back to Toka. We went to Toka, then to Nasik. Still silent. After about a year or 9 months, he stopped writing too. I'll give you an incident of a yogi who came here, I think to test Baba. And he got his answer. Baba was writing then during these first 9 months of his silence. whoever tried to meet, whoever came here to Meherabad to meet Baba first, any of the Mandali had to approach that man and ask him, where are you from, what do you want? And if he showed a desire to see Baba, then carry the message to Baba that he has come from such and such a place and wants to see you. And if Baba allowed, we allowed him in. So this yogi comes in, joins his hands in supplication, and he wants to see Baba. Baba says, let him come in. He sits down on the ground, Baba sits down on the ground. He has 2 to 3 slates. He sits down near Baba and just gesticulates. Please give me a slate, sort of. He is handed a slate. Takes the pen and starts writing down. Concurrently, Baba also starts writing down. That yogi starts writing, Baba starts writing. Both have finished writing, the slates exchange. All right. Wiped off. Both wipe it off. Both start writing again. The same thing, slates exchange. Third time. After the third time, that yogi bows down and he says, Baba, you're perfect. I'm going now, I'm thoroughly satisfied. That's what he says. He says, I am a yogi. I can read the minds of everybody, but I cannot read your mind. Baba says, go. So what passed on the slates between Baba and the yogi? The yogi was writing a question and Baba was writing the answer concurrently. Yet that man persisted in asking twice more. He was not satisfied with one answer. So he took a slate second time, again asked the question. Baba wrote the answer concurrently with him. And the third time he bowed down and goes off, never to come back. So, if you attribute, this morning, Hiji, we were talking about miracle, if you attribute this to something like a miracle, no sir, I won't. I would. He said, with a master, this is a child's play. This is a child's play. Even with a mast, it is a child's play. Who is the yogi? He is nobody, just nobody before a perfect master, a man of God, or this mast whom we call. Nobody. Anyway, that man goes away, never to come back.
Do you think this man came just out of a sense of curiosity, or do you think he had some business to transact with Baba? Probably nobody knows.
Well,
because if he did come out of a sense of curiosity, I don't think Baba would have entertained him.
No, you see, master's ways are quite queer. You cannot say what a master would do. He would take the rottenest scoundrel near him, and whom we think to be an angelic man or a religious man, you just chase him out. We just do not know. We just do not know on what plane he works or what that man was to receive from Baba. He might have burst his ego. Who knows? He might be thinking that I am somebody. But then he must have come to know that there is somebody better than I too. You understand? He must have given a shock to his ego. See? So in like manner these masters work. They chase out, they entertain, they call. Many a times we have seen that when people bring garlands, people brought garlands for Baba, he wouldn't accept it. He would just gesticulate and say that, keep it on the table. He would never touch it. Yes, sir. He wouldn't allow it to be put on even a photograph of him. Keep it there. He wouldn't take it. While from others, he would take it willingly. You just, from a child, you would give his neck. Come on, put it. So Master's ways are queer. We just do not know, but we have actually seen, but we have never asked the question, why do you do that, Baba? Why do you do? Why did you refuse this man's garland and why did you accept this poor man's? Well, that's my khushi. That's my wish. That's the answer. No more, no less. So, this table was carried to Toka also. And there he lived in this table. That is, he slept. He moved out and he slept in that compartment. And that table, and the question of Dhuni you asked me, this table was abutting that neem tree that you see now near the Dhuni. It was actually abutting it. And that's where the first Dhuni was lighted. But since it came within the road boundary, we had to move. When we built it Pakka, we had to move that platform a little towards the east so that we don't don't violate any law. Now it is housed far down away from it, and it has got a good roof now near the Jopri. Jopri too has a good roof now. Formerly its roof was of Mangalore tiles, only a solo structure. Later on, veranda was added to it. And according to Baba's wish, anybody, it could be just anybody, he was put in seclusion in that room on his orders. The tank that you see, that Meher retreat that you see, had no upper story. Baba secluded himself there too. In seclusion, many people ask, what would Baba take? He would take anything. He would be on plain water, even no water. Or he would have a full meal, nothing at all. Or he would take coffee or tea or anything. But before, always he would just say, you give me this or you give me that. But generally, mostly it was always fast. Tea or coffee or dal water. That too, I think hardly a 4-ounce cup, once to twice a day. The rest was water.
And this for days.
And this for days. Staggered periods. And he would come out very lean out of that seclusion. Staggered periods. Then the biggest seclusion was during the last years, when he wouldn't meet anybody. These were staggered periods. Many in central India, you know, Angarishi Pahad, Angarishi mountains, there he secluded himself. In Mahabaleshwar he secluded himself. Here he secluded himself. In Nasik he secluded himself. So that was his way. He would just say, I want seclusion, I want to sit down. I just want to sit down completely away from the Mandali and away from the rest. And that was that. We would make arrangements for him. And before retiring into seclusion, he would say that, I'll take tea. Hirji, you bring it. Be there with the thermos flask at 12 o'clock. So you would be there with the flask, with tea at 12 o'clock. Baba took it or not was not your point at all, but you got to be there at 12 o'clock. That's orders. The first lesson in obedience he taught us in 1922. We were raw, we didn't know much about the spiritual line, we made mistakes, and I'm not ashamed to say that.